geben und das S steht für Sandra Maria Jessen, 31 Jahre, jung oder erfahren. Sie trägt die Nummer 6. Pauline Bremer, jene, welche im Hinspiel den einzigen Treffer erzielt hat, bringt es in dieser Saison bei 17 Einsätzen auf 5 Tore und 2 Vorlagen. Die Topscorerin unserer Mannschaft, Selina Cerci, 12 Tore hat sie auf ihrem Konto, 5 Vorlagen und ebenfalls eine wichtige und wertvolle Spielerin, Valeska Amporter, 5 Tore, 4 Vorlagen, soweit unsere beiden Topscorerinnen bei der TSG. Die Top-Liga-Werte ligaweit, ich gebe es zu, es ist ein bisschen schwer zu lesen für Sie, aber wir klären auf.
Now Hoffenheim need to respond in kind or risk kissing their slim chances goodbye. Can they use home advantage to get the better of a Köln side who are out of form in the midst of a record-breaking season? James Surrogate, your match commentator, delighted to have the pleasure of your company as we close out match day 23. We've entered the final stretch of the 25-26 season. Bayern München have wrapped up the title for a fourth straight campaign, but there's still plenty to play for elsewhere in the standings. Well, it's been almost 1 month since tonight's two sides were last in competitive action. Hoffenheim head coach Eva Wirschinger says she felt incredible energy and excitement in the build-up to this clash at the Dietmar Hopp Stadion. It has been another turbulent season in the southwest of Germany. Wirschinger took over from Theodoros Dedis at the turn of the year, with the club citing a lack of progress on and off the pitch for the mutually agreed departure. Nevertheless, Hoffenheim are within a chance of qualifying for Europe, albeit with fate out of their hands. Frankfurt closed the gap on Wolfsburg to 4 points yesterday, and Hoffenheim need to follow suit this evening to stay within touching distance of the Schiegels. For visitors, Köln, the priority this season was always securing safety. They did that back on match day 21. It was on match day 15 they broke the club record for most points in a single season by beating Freiburg. Since then, though, they've only won one of their last 8 league outings. Jamila Rankin being recognised for title-winning exploits on international duty with Australia during the hiatus. A nice touch from the club. For now, let's check in on the team sheets. Host Hoffenheim head coach Eva Wirschinger makes 3 changes to the side that won the Baden derby against Freiburg almost a month ago. Lisanne Kaut makes way for Jamila Rankin at left back. Franziska Harsch takes the place of Jana Grimm in holding midfield. The final change sees Valeska Amporter replace Laura Glorning behind the front two of Nikke van Dijk and Selina Cerci. Selina Sophie Böhm, the woman with the whistle on this Monday evening. Two captains, Vanessa Diem, Marina Hegering, at opposite ends of the experience spectrum. Hegering, several years her counterpart senior. As for the Köln lineup, wholesale alterations compared to the 2-1 loss to Frankfurt back on the 28th of March. Lisa Schmitz makes her first start since a stint on the treatment table that started back in September. Martina Wiankowska returns to the back line, where there are 3 fresh faces in midfield. Zoe Hasenhauer, Adriana Achinska and Lydia Andrade slot back into the Köln starting 11. For Hoffenheim, the chance to keep a bit of heat on the heels of Eintracht Frankfurt, who are the favourites to finish in 3rd place, as they have done for the last 3 seasons in the Frauen-Bundesliga, but never was the opportunity to maybe pit them to the post greater than in the current campaign. And had Hoffenheim found consistency, then you never know, maybe they'd have been in a different position tonight. For Köln, a record-breaking campaign. And they broke that record back on match day 15 when they beat Freiburg, smashing the previous best of 22 points, which was back in the 21-22 season. They've got 28 to their name ahead of tonight's visit. But they have won just one of their last 8 league outings. Head coach Britta Karlsson admitting that recent results prove there's still a lot of work to be done, but believes her side are on the right track at least. Something her charges will put to the test again tonight. Matchday 23 has been a decisive weekend in the race for 3rd place. Hoffenheim are out to keep slim hopes of qualifying for Europe alive after watching Frankfurt and Leverkusen win yesterday. But can they use home advantage to get the better of a Köln side who are out of form, but in the midst of a record-breaking season? James Thurrogood, your match commentator, extending the warmest of welcomes to the Dietmar Hopp Stadion, where we are closing the curtain on the weekend's action in the Google Pixel Frauen Bundesliga. Hoffenheim head coach Eva Wirschinger calling for her side to stand their ground and get stuck in from the first minute of this game. Köln, their season might have run its course, but Britta Carlson, the head coach, still demanding improvements from her side's performances. It was Marina Hegering, just pictured, the captain, who scored the early opener almost a month ago in the 2-1 loss to Eintracht Frankfurt. Britta Carlson said it was a deserved win for the She-Gulls, but it was an unnecessary loss for Köln. And the early threat here from Hoffenheim. Selina Cerci gets it around the corner. Knocked off balance, but finds the cutback! And Hoffenheim strike early. Just over 90 seconds on the clock. And it's a dream start in front of home support as Maria Steiner gets the goal. Wonderful interplay. It was Steiner who found the space, and when the pass snuck through, Hoffenheim took full advantage. Cerci, oh, it was tight. Maybe there was a toe in it. Nevertheless, the composure, the presence of mind. Hoffenheim with the breakthrough as they look to keep pace with Frankfurt in third place.
Neuer Spielstand, TSG Hoffenheim. Erster FC Köln. Danke.
A heavy touch there, just letting the home side down, but couldn't have asked for more from kickoff. For Marie Steiner, it's the 5th goal of the season, her 3rd since the turn of the year, to add to efforts against Nuremberg and Essen. An academy graduate. And a highlight moment here on home soil. A game that we're expecting to be intense from the off, has only intensified with the early goal. Hoffenheim will look to establish control from here. It's a neat play by Jamila Rankin. Selina Cerci hasn't been in the best goal-scoring form of late. She was the top goal-scorer in the Frauen Bundesliga, level with Wolfsburg's Linnet Bernstein on 16 goals come the end of the campaign. That was all down to her finishing the season so strongly. 9 goals in her last 6 appearances. Right now, she's only scored 2 in her last 8. All amidst a lot of rumours circulating about her future. She has turned down a move to Wolfsburg in the end, but it does seem like her future lies elsewhere. Eva Maria Wirschinger will be looking to make the most of her talents before she does depart. She'll be delighted with what she's seen from her side. She was calling for an intense performance from the first second, and she's got it, and her side on top of that have been rewarded for it. She said it was decisive how we get ourselves into the game. And, well, they've gotten into the game by putting Britta Karlsson's charges firmly on the back foot. Karlsson talked about the almost 1 month off being almost like a mini pre-season, so that everyone was raring to go again. Lisa Schmitz will be disappointed to have conceded so early on her return to the starting lineup. The veteran goalkeeper, with only her 5th appearance of the season, she was the #1 at the start of the campaign, but now they've given it away cheaply, and Hoffenheim will look to pounce. Cerci! Flag stays down. Köln looking desperation to the assistant on the far side, but no flag raised as Cerci is back amongst the goals, adding to her earlier assist. And, well, oh, that is criminal. Wow, that really has the goal has stood. Now, sometimes we like a bit of controversy in the Frauen-Bundesliga. There is no use of goal line technology or video assistant referees. And mistakes are part of the human element of officiating. But that was one of the most clear offsides not given this season. Hoffenheim and Selina Cerci profit from the situation. You can understand why the Köln defenders were so incensed and up in arms. Because that is a very cruel break after already suffering the setback of a goal after just over 90 seconds. Certainly not Hoffenheim's fastest goal this season, because that was scored in record-breaking fashion by Valeska Amporta, the Belgian midfielder who scored the fastest goal in Frauen-Bundesliga history. That was in the reverse fixture between Hoffenheim and Freiburg, which Hoffenheim won in the return fixture before the international break. Selina Cerci making her presence felt on the game and in that challenge with Lisa Schmitz. Schmitz with the sharp pass out wide to Wiankowska. And gets it back now, Lisa Schmitz. Lisa Dorn goes all the way back to Laura Dick. Oh, dear me! Oh, well, it does feel like karmic justice for Köln after Hoffenheim's second should never have stood. But what on earth is going on here at the Dietmar Hopp Stadion? Less than 10 minutes played, 3 goals scored, Hoffenheim lead 2-1, but they've just shot themselves in the foot. Laura Dick just trying to put the ball back into play. Straight off Lydia Andrade, and Köln have a goal back. What is it with Hoffenheim and bizarre starts to matches? If you go back to their game against Freiburg before the international break, they won that one 2-1 as well, and all 3 goals came in the first 15 minutes. There was a first ever goal in Hoffenheim colours for Wille Duma, the centre-back. That broke the deadlock. Then there was a big mistake made by Freiburg in their build-up that Jana Grimm capitalised on to make it 2-0 to Hoffenheim, and then Lisa Kolb pulled one back for Freiburg after 15 minutes, and today it's all happened within 10. But the way this game is being played out, if we remain at 2-1, I will be shocked to my core. The same way I've been shocked by some of the scenes that we've seen already this evening. Unless we forget, it should be 2-1. Excuse me, it should be 1-1. It is 2-1. It should be 1-1. Hoffenheim's second goal was offside with daylight, but not spotted by the assistant referee, Jana Hegwein. It was Eva Wischinger that talked about that derby win against Freiburg, describing it as a wild game. She said there were elements in which her side executed what they wanted to. Right now, there's a real lack of communication in the Hoffenheim ranks, and they keep getting on each other's toes. The ball with Wille Duma, the opening goal scorer against Freiburg. Worked out to Jo Janssens, who is set to leave the club in the summer to join Union Berlin. Disappointing there from Lisa Dorn. Her departure, Jo Janssens, along with maybe that of Selina Cerci, does suggest that there is going to be another bit of upheaval with the Sinsheim side this summer. Something that they haven't really been able to escape in recent seasons. And while they didn't seize the opportunity that was afforded by a lack of consistency in Eintracht Frankfurt's season, there was a question as to whether Hoffenheim were really in a position to capitalise. Theodoros Dedis tried to get the best out of a lot of moving parts. But if you look at some of the players that Hoffenheim have lost in recent seasons, including in the summer, any side would be hard hit. Back in the past, it was the likes of Sarai Linder, Paulina Krumbiegel, Giaccoli. More recently, Martina Tefekovic, Marta Katzala, Isabella Harbig, Fabiana Dongus, Jana Feldkamp, Mara Alba, Ereletta Mehmeti, Julia Hickelsberger, and in the winter break, Melissa Kussler. How can any side truly have aspirations of breaking into the top 3 when they can't pin their players down for more than a couple of seasons, or at least a core of the team? You look at that list of players, all of them were first-team regulars. Now they do have some bright young talents, the likes of Marie Steiner, the woman who broke the deadlock this evening, Vanessa Diem, the captain, who is seen as a future German national team player in the making. Her standing in Hoffenheim, not disguised by the fact that she does have the captain's armband. just over a quarter of an hour played at the Dietmar Hauptstadion, and 15 minutes of football that have been dominated by mistakes made. No complaints about Hoffenheim's first goal. Though again, I don't know whether the angle of the replay helped us conclude whether Selina Cerci was or was not offside. Nevertheless, that was a very close decision. But the mistake made by Jana Hegvine, the assistant on the far side for Hoffenheim's second goal, playing a massive role in the opening exchanges, as was the mistake made by Hoffenheim goalkeeper Laura Dick. Unfortunately, her career, despite being very promising, despite the undoubted talent, the amount of mistakes she makes that prove costly are probably the reason that she's not considered one of the best young German goalkeepers. Set piece for Hoffenheim, straight into the gloves of Lisa Schmitz. Schmitz plays Laura Vogt into a bit of pressure. It's not the best outlet pass, but it finds a way to Paulina Bremer. Now poked out wide. Carlotta Imping. Again, Köln falling foul of the same problem they had against Frankfurt in that 2-1 defeat. And it was one that Britta Karlsson talked about, and I can only assume that she's addressed it in training as well, and yet still they resort to the long ball more often than not. And this is a Köln side that, yes, can pose a real threat in transition. At the same time, they need to pick and choose their moments much more efficiently when it comes to when to resort to that Route 1 style. Again, a hint of an offside there, and this time the flag does go up from Jana Hegvine. Always wonder whether a lineswoman has a sense of the fact that they've made a mistake. Because the reaction from the likes of Marina Hegering and the Köln ranks was quite emphatic. And while a team will always be likely to question an offside decision, when they're that emphatic, it suggests that it was clear-cut. And right now, Köln trying to get in behind with a move of their own. Sandra Maria Jessen just beaten to the ball by Laura Dick. Opts for a long throw, looking for Nike van Dijk, the woman on loan from Inter Milan. Hegering continued her run forward, and you can tell that she sensed opportunity with that marauding run from centre-back, something that she loves to do. Happy to accept a bit of risk. You have to think that Köln's form might not have dipped as much had they not lost her to a shoulder injury for a substantial period of time. Oh my goodness, that's a horror back pass, and Selina Cerci is not the woman you want to give it to. She feeds it to Van Dijk, and it's 3-1 Hoffenheim. The mistakes are just racking up, and there is ruthless punishment being dished out at both ends of the pitch when mistakes are being made. And Selina Cerci has now been involved in all 3 Hoffenheim goals. But what on earth are Köln doing at times here? A Laura Dick with a self-inflicted wound for Hoffenheim. And Köln return the favour in kind. First ever goal in Hoffenheim colours for Nike van Dijk. She was the woman brought in on loan from Inter Milan to compensate for the loss of Melissa Kussler, who left the club to move to the United States to join Denver. Right now we've got a Hoffenheim player that has stayed down, and it's Valeska Amporte. An elbow to the jaw. Oh, dished out, yeah, by Laura Vogt. A little pat on the back and apology, but to be honest, I think that probably deserved a stronger apology. Well, you can lament the individual errors tonight, but you can't lament the entertainment value of this Monday night encounter. And for Hoffenheim, this is a night where they must win to keep slim hopes of finishing third alive. The difficulty for Hoffenheim is they do face Bayern München on foreign soil next time out on Wednesday, the 6th of May. That's a nice teasing ball from Machinska, and so difficult to drop on a dime, given the vertical angle of the pass. It was always going to favour Laura Dick and not Sandra Maria Jessen. Cerci. Amelie Bornen getting very handsy with Selina Cerci. Bornen, who made that rather awful error that led to Romina Chiba scoring what was the winning goal against Frankfurt last time out. And again, those mistakes have continued to haunt Köln again tonight. Selina Cerci, 1 goal, 2 assists. Welcome back to form, Selina Cerci. Can understand that maybe a slight distraction with all the off-the-pitch goings-on involving her future and the discussions that did go on with Wolfsburg, ultimately breaking down when it was announced that Ralf Kellermann, the sporting director, would leave the club, and as a result, negotiations seemed to stall. Selina Cerci then wasn't as convinced of her decision to move north to the Outerstadt in Germany, with Wolfsburg not quite the team they once were, and again suggesting that they're not exactly going to get back to where they once were anytime soon. With Kellermann leaving and Alex Popp departing, it will be the end of a substantial era and a very successful one for Wolfsburg that unfortunately has tailed off due to the rise to prominence and dominance of Bayern München. According to reports here in Germany, Cerci's most likely destination is somewhere in England in the Women's Super League. Steiner trying to turn the corner, and oh, that wasn't the cleanest of challenges from Bornen, but it was a much better one from Hegering. Bornen could have got herself into a world of trouble there with the referee, Selina Sophie Böhm. If anything, she's probably been saved by the fact that Steiner decided to try and ride the challenge and not go to ground. Because I reckon if Steiner falls, then Böhm probably points to the spot. Corner, 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 goal, goal, goal is the chant from the Hoffenheim fans. Lisa Schmitz with the punch, clearing a near post. Clearance not completed in the end. Steiner back to Janssens. Teasing delivery, and Marina Hegering read it well to head clear. First ball straight back to Steiner, and Hoffenheim trying to keep themselves on the front foot here. Steiner lofts one in now. And now Wiankowska can break. Lydia Andrade, a willing runner ahead. The ball needed to be precise, but it was cut out by Jamila Rankin, who read the threat levels well. Cross comes in now. Cerci the target. And in the end, Carlotta Imping did just enough to prevent her getting her second of the evening. Corner comes in. A lot of pace on the delivery, but not enough height to truly trouble. And then a slip from Steiner prevents her applying the high press. Janssens follows up. Now lofted back in. Van Dijk attacked well, but a bit of pace taken off the headed effort. And now it's Köln looking to break on the counter. Again, the charge led by Wienckowska. Nice 1-2 with Hasenauer. Round the corner it goes for Jessen, who gave up on it a little early there. Franziska Harsch just catching Marina Hegering. Yeah, that's a nasty knock at the knees. And Marina Hegering's knees have gone through a fair bit during her illustrious career. Bit of a late bloomer when it came to really rising to the highest level with both the national team and with Wolfsburg. But she has been such a valuable leader, an example, and present on and off the pitch for Köln since joining in the summer. And it was all part of the decision to add a lot more experience to their ranks, the Cathedral City side. Because it wasn't just Hegering. Paulina Bremer brought in, Sandra Maria Jessen brought in, all 30 years or older. They do have a bit of an aging squad, Köln, but they've also laid a foundation to build for the future. That added experience has served them much better than when they were really relegation fodder last season before Britta Karlsson took over. And yes, it might be another defeat here, which would make it just one win in the last 9 games since breaking the club record for most points in a single season, but it doesn't take away from the big progress made by this team. And that was what Britta Karlsson was keen to stress, admitting that there was more work to do, but they are on track. You go back to match day 15, when they beat Freiburg and everyone was starting to dream of maybe even challenging for Europe. As Britta Karlsson pointed out, the fans love to dream in Köln. She said ultimately the real aim was to keep looking up and not down, and they've, despite this poor run of form, not had to look nervously over their shoulder. After that knock of knees, Marina Hegering was made of sterner stuff, but Franziska Harsch feeling the effects. We get to revisit the goals, the first from Steiner. The second should never have counted because Cerci was clearly offside. A horror moment for Laura Dick at one end, allowed Köln to reduce the arrears, then a horror pass at the other, allowed Cerci to find Nikke van Dijk as she squeezed the ball past Lisa Schmitz for her first ever goal as a Hoffenheim player. All part of a wild first just under half an hour here at the Dietmar Hopp Stadion. Dismay, I'm sure, at some of the mistakes, but delight for the fact that we've seen the goals flow freely. And Selina Cerci has been at the heart of everything for Hoffenheim. 1 goal, 2 assists, 3 scored for the hosts today. She moves on to 13 for the season, still 1 shy of both Vanessa Fudala and Pernille Harder at the top of the goal-scoring charts, but plenty of time to add another to her tally. Franziska Harsch still needing treatment, so Hoffenheim down to 10 women momentarily as Nara Dick does better with the clearance when she's not under pressure. That's a lovely ball to Sandra Maria Jessen, and the offside flag stops her and Köln in their tracks. Perhaps Jasmin Mateschik doing a better job of reading the line than Jana Hegvine did. I'll tell you what, Köln might not have anything to play for, and while iterations past or other teams might have been tempted to just give up the ghost on a game where they're losing 3-1, there's a lot of fight back from those in red and white. At the statistics, and despite the fight from Köln, a lack of attacking output is certainly hurting their chances of finding a way back into this game, and that one shot on target wasn't even the effort from Lydia Andrade, because I doubt that will even count as a shot, actually. I guess in theory it has to. Unfortunately, there is going to be an early end to proceedings for Franziska Harsch. Back in the starting lineup, but in taking out Hegering, she took herself out of the game. Jana Grimm comes off the bench. Hoffenheim, as they always want to do, looking to build up from the back, but Köln with their high press, trying to force the mistake high up the pitch. And that high press is something both teams look to execute, and that's well played. Wienkoska Andrade waits, and a big block by Vanessa Diem. Good last-ditch defending from the Hoffenheim captain. One of the better moves that Köln have put together. And they get a corner for their efforts. Players that can certainly pose a threat from set-piece situations. Marina Hegering was on the score sheet last time out for Köln, scoring in the second minute with a header from a corner. A woman that loves to attack a delivery from set-piece situations, and Vogt puts it into the mix. Cleared by Hoffenheim, straight to Andrade. She's going to fizz it back in, and this will work out for Köln. Laura Vogt, oh, I did not think she was offside, but the lineswoman on this near side did. Admittedly, I don't know why I'm drawing conclusions, almost impossible to tell from our angles. Confident play out from the back. Lisa Dorn finding Cerci, can't bring it down on her chest, but the ball breaks kindly for Hoffenheim. placed here by Jana Grimm. Rankin. This is all part of the Hoffenheim game plan. Right now, the difference between their build-up play and Köln's is that when they do resort to the long ball, it often finds its mark. And Selina Chetri is doing a much better job in terms of holding play up for her side, waiting for support, or even turning to take on her woman. Same could be said of Nikke van Dijk, who's doing well to hold off the challenge of Marina Hegering there. Finds a pass all the way back to Lisa Dorn, her fellow Dutch woman. Steiner scrapping away in midfield. It's a nice ball out wide. Unfortunately, that pass from Janssens was behind Porter. Belgian connection there for Hoffenheim just breaking down. And after a wild start to this game, things were always going to calm down a touch. That's exactly what's happened as we approach half-time. Hoffenheim in a very commanding position. Part fashioned by themselves and part gifted to them by Köln. A first half that has been littered with individual mistakes. Hoffenheim a chance to close the gap on Frankfurt back to 4 points after Frankfurt closed the gap on Wolfsburg to 4 points with their win against the She-Wolves yesterday. It was a huge step towards clinching third place for the side from Germany's financial capital. Big statement win against Wolfsburg as well, who were decidedly second best. Would have been hoping that Wolfsburg could have maybe done them a favour. Because had Frankfurt lost that game and Hoffenheim won, then the gap would have been a single point. And maybe then Hoffenheim's chances would have been even better. Frankfurt do also have to still face Bayern München between now and the end of the season, the same way that Hoffenheim do. But otherwise, in those remaining two games, Frankfurt will be favourites to win both. As will Hoffenheim when they take on Union Berlin and Leipzig. The problem for them is 2 wins from their next 3 after tonight might not be enough for 4th place, so they're just going to have to accept that. But as the newly installed head coach, Eva Versinger, pointed out, their focus, Hoffenheim, is on ending the season with a good block of results that includes a victory here against Köln, and they're in a very good position to secure that as a corner comes in. Steiner has 2 for company, but lovely play by Marie Steiner. Now Jana Grimm clips it back post. Van Dijk peels off, but the header won by Sandra Maria Jessen, the striker chipping in defensively there. That's nice from Andrade. And well, Paulina Bremer went for the spectacular with Laura Dick off her line. It would have been one of the goals of the season. It was was nowhere close to really pulling it off, Pauline Bremer. Hoffenheim working the channels well again. Cerci waits in the middle, and Cerci's there with a tap-in to make it 4-1 before half-time. And what a night Selina Cerci is having. 2 assists and 2 goals that take her joint top of the goal-scoring charts in the Frauen-Bundesliga. And she's got a whole half to complete a hat-trick. Köln are being put to the sword here by a Hoffenheim team that want to make a winning start in the final stretch of the campaign. And while Köln have been makers of their own downfall, this was the goal that spoke to Hoffenheim's qualities in transition. A nice vertical pass to break the lines, work the channels for Jo Janssens, and she has the presence of mind and the vision to pick out Selina Cerci for her 14th goal of the season, too shy of her tally from the previous campaign. And now Andrade, admirably pulled out, because she had every right to go diving in there to try and get on the end of that ball, and I think she would have got there had she dove in, and she tried to pull out the Swiss forward. Otherwise, I think the damage may be here to Laura Dick, and Jo Janssens could have been worse. Janssen is a heavy fall after trying to avoid the contact. Andrade does clatter into Laura Dick. Maybe in the context of the season and this game, Andrade didn't need to go full-blooded into the challenge. I think she did everything she could to avoid clattering into Laura Dick, but momentum is a funny old thing. Köln are an intense and physical side, but they aren't ones that look to cross the line of what's allowed on a football pitch. Laura Dick a little shaken up, that left arm, feeling the effects of the coming together. She's all smiles in the aftermath though, which is good to see. Wiankowska looking to return the ball to Bremer, but the ball just skimming off the boot. Again, Cerci is the target woman. Again, she takes a decent first touch. This time it was a little bit loose and allows Köln to bite back, but that quality is something that Hoffenheim really are making the most of, and it's having a big impact on this game. I think it was always clear that if she remained injury-free, which unfortunately Selina Cerci struggled to do when she was on the Köln books, and of course today facing her former side. She only made 17 appearances for Köln, scoring 4 goals after a knee operation back in 2023 that kept her sidelined for a long period. Hoffenheim keeping her fit and have her firing, and when that was the case, her future was always going to lie elsewhere. right now. The attraction of a move to England and playing in one of the most competitive women's leagues in the world, if not the most competitive women's league, the Women's Super League. Now you can understand why Selina Cerci would want to go and test her talents in a league like that. Of course, we'd have loved to keep her here in the Frauen-Bundesliga, giving her goal-scoring exploits. But if Frankfurt weren't going to come calling, if she was going to turn down Wolfsburg and buy in as much as they could make use of a player like Selina Cerci, they don't need to sign Selina Cerci, given the depth they have in their own squad. Then ultimately there really is no other place that Cerci could go within the Frauen-Bundesliga that would make sense for her. And again, if the scouts are in attendance tonight at the Dietmar Hauptstadion, they're getting one of her best performances of the season. Well, with all the goals and stoppages, we've got 4 minutes of time added on. Almost 2 minutes of those up already. And if Hoffenheim thought their first half against Freiburg in the derby was wild, well, this first half has topped even that. A remarkable turn of events. No debating that Hoffenheim are good value for their lead because of the incredible performance of Selina Cerci. Foul on Hegering by Van Dijk. He's brewing into a real battle. A physical striker against a physical defender. Neither take any prisoners. A first half at the Dietmar Hauptstadion littered with individual errors, but dominated by a dazzling performance from one of the best strikers in the Frauen-Bundesliga. Selina Cerci is putting on a show. 2 assists, 2 goals, and it's Hoffenheim 4, Köln 1 at the break.
Mannschaft auch. Und ihr spielt natürlich miteinander Fußball. Warst du sehr überrascht, dass du heute zu den glücklichen Gewinnerinnen zählst, die hier im Torwandschießen der Runde dabei sind? Hast du schon mal probiert? Bist du eine Dauer-Coach-Scannerin?
Ja, ganz normal, ja.
Dann drückt ihr jetzt den Daumen der 29-Jährigen, die Freizeitfußball liebt und spielt. Bitteschön, es gilt 5 Punkte zu schlagen. Liebe Mitglieder, toi, toi, toi. Das sieht schon richtig gut aus. Die das müssen wir zugeben. Das war heute aber 3 Punkte, hat sie schon mal eingesagt. Und dann kommt der nächste 4. Es fehlt ja einer zum Ausgleich und 2 zum Sieg. Oh! Das ist natürlich eine heiße Nummer. Mensch, da war was im Weg. Liebe Gegner, wir können das nicht an den Sieg oder knapp 5 zu 4, sind total schwer. Absolut. Und dann hat sie Suchen in der Kölner Ecke. Mensch, Shaken von euch beiden noch. Mit 5 zu 4 gewinnt unsere Fußball-Fanfrau Nina Gerke. Herzlichen Glückwunsch und hier ganz lieben Dank. Der Hoodie geht an Sie, den Sie vielleicht selber kriegt oder weitergibt. Das Autogramm haben Sie für mich. Ganz viel Spaß. Euch viel Erfolg, viel Spaß beim Fußball. Wo immer ihr spielt, ihr habt sowieso Spaß. Das sehe ich euch an. Das ist auch gut so. Danke. Schön, dass ihr da seid. Apparat Musik, danke. Also uns gefällt es sehr gut, wenn auch wirklich Anhänger unserer Gäste mitmachen bei unserer Halbzeitshow, bei unserem Gewinnspiel, wo man den QR-Code zu scannen hat. Ist natürlich wieder beim letzten Heimspiel am Sonntag 17. Mai um 14 Uhr. Es ist der Sonntag vor Pfingsten und wir freuen uns auf euch, wenn ihr wieder live dabei seid und unsere Mannschaft Daumen drückt gegen RB Leipzig. Unsere 3 letzten Spiele, wir haben es gesagt, bei FC Bayern München, bei Deutschen Meister, am Mittwoch 6. Mai um 18 Uhr, dann die Auswärtspartie im alten Spielstadion an der alten Försterei, am 10. Mai um 16 Uhr bei Union Berlin und bereits erwähnt, das letzte Heimspiel Siegenau geleistet. Wie geht's weiter für die Kölnerinnen und Kölner? Der Anhang hier im Baustadion weiß es natürlich. 2 Heimspiele. Samstag, 2. Mai, 13 Uhr im Hans-Bremer-Stadion zu Gast der SV Werder Bremen. Und eine Woche später, Samstag, 9. Mai, um 12 Uhr, dann das Heimspiel des 1. FC Köln gegen den Hamburger SV. Abschluss für die Kölnerinnen, Sonntag, 17. Mai, 14 Uhr beim FC Karl Zeiss Jena. Nochmals der Hinweis, morgen Autogrammstunde von unserer erfolgreichen U23 und unserer Frauenmannschaft in Heidelberg bei Müller. Am Bismarckplatz, Dienstag, 28. April, 16 bis 17 Uhr, Autogrammstunde unserer DFB-Frauen und der U23. Wer in der Nähe ist, wer einkaufen muss im Drogeriemarkt Müller, unbedingt vorbeischauen, Foto machen lassen und Autogramme holen. Der Gast aus Köln wechselt zweimal in der Pause. Vom Feld gegangen, beziehungsweise nicht mehr kommen.
Hello and welcome back to the Dietmar Hopp Stadion, where we are closing the curtain on match day 23 in the Google Pixel Frauen Bundesliga, and Britta Carlson there, the Köln head coach, holding court with Dora Zeller at half-time, because Zeller is going to be brought on after what was a disastrous first half for the Cathedral City side, and she's not the only change being made. Annalena Stolze is also getting a last few instructions from her head coach, maybe making the point that ultimately they're 4-1 down here on foreign soil against Hoffenheim. They've got absolutely nothing to lose, but I'm sure Carlson would have called for her side to give a much better account of themselves in the second half than they did in the first. They weren't helped by a offside decision that should have been given and wasn't, that led to Hoffenheim's second goal, but they also did damage to themselves in equal measure. At the same time, Hoffenheim, on a night where they're looking to keep themselves in the hunt for a third place finish, are on course to take all 3 points. Is Zara Agrec, excuse me, and not Dora Zeller that's coming on. A woman who has been linked with a move to Liverpool in the Women's Super League. We're back underway on this Monday evening. Hoffenheim 4-1 up after a dazzling first half display from Selina Cerci. She scored 2 goals and provided 2 assists. And with one more goal could go, lone top of the Frauen Bundesliga goal-scoring charts on 15. Laura Dick made a terrible mistake in the first half, and it was arguably the only blemish on an otherwise pristine first-half performance from the hosts. Just held onto the ball a little too long. Lydia Andrade closed her down, and when Dick looked to clear the ball, it cannoned back off Andrade and into the back of the net. Oh, Jessen, so close to picking the pocket there of Jo Janssens. Köln last time on foreign soil, they beat Nuremberg 2-1. It ended a run of 3 straight losses. It looks like they'll be returning to losing ways here tonight, unless they can produce some sort of miraculous recovery. Meanwhile, for Hoffenheim, home form has not been kind to them since Eva Wiesinger took charge. Just 1 win in 4. That run including a draw to Werder Bremen and losses against Hamburg and Wolfsburg. So this performance, this scoreline right now, not to be taken for granted here at the Dietmar Hopp Stadion, and the home faithful with a little bit more to cheer tonight than they've had on occasion this season. Pass, a touch behind Jessen there. She goes back to Zara Agrec. Carlotta Imping. That's a nice ball for Bremer to work with, and it's across the face of goal. But Annalena Stolze was not in the right position to capitalise, and Diem now under pressure from Andrade. Does well to retain the ball for Hoffenheim. Agrec wins the header. Hoffenheim win back possession quickly. And that has been a feature of tonight's performance from both teams. Vogt to Stolze. Very positive start to the second half from Köln. Albeit the lack of end product still a problem. But Annalena Stolze has certainly made an impact off the bench, there's no doubt about that. Now you never know, stranger things have happened in the world of the Frauen-Bundesliga. Can't get the next goal back, you never know, maybe the momentum shifts and the game changes, but they are asking a lot of the football gods for that to happen, and if they want that to happen, then ultimately they cannot afford to make any of the mistakes they made from the first half. But so far, so good. That's nice play to Fashioner, crossing opportunity, and it's a dangerous one as well. Yes, and on the follow-up, and they've got the early goal back here, Köln. Well, Selina Cerci, the Hoffenheim top scorer, stealing the show tonight, but now Sandra Maria Jessen, the Köln top scorer, gets in on the mix with her 11th of the campaign, and this all about goal-scoring instincts. The cross from Lara Vogt was devilish. Had a lot of pace on it, dropped in a very dangerous area. Laura Dick felt she had to do something about it. And in the end, all she does is palm the ball into the path of Jessen, who puts it right back past her and into the top corner with a thunderous strike. Feels like a stretch to suggest that might be a goal to spark the comeback, but you just never know. Hoffenheim aren't exactly covering themselves in glory in this second half, and this is remarkably better from Hoffenheim, from Köln, excuse me, as that's a little bit of a dangerous challenge from Zara Agrec, and protests her innocence, but I don't think she would disagree with the decision when seeing the replays, because she came right through the back there of Valeska and Porter. Now, the knuckleball effect on the Vogt cross certainly made life very difficult for Laura Dick. I'm just not sure she had to get involved. And there's an element where she will have to take a portion of the blame for both goals conceded tonight by Hoffenheim. The first one, definitely. The second one, arguments could be had. Grimm's free kick straight to Lisa Schmitz. Köln really have the bit between their teeth, so Britta Karlsson has clearly lit a fire under her troops with the half-time team talk. They're biting into the challenges. They're rattling the Hoffenheim cage a little bit more, and perhaps Hoffenheim have also, at the same time, made the mistake of getting complacent with that 4-1 lead. Because it's under threat. Oh, Andrade! Why didn't she try and take a touch? Maybe she got a call from Bremer, but she was the woman in prime position there to bring that ball down. Van Dijk battles well to keep the forward motion going for Hoffenheim. Pass behind her from Amporta, but she rescues the situation. Van Dijk going to go it alone. And always drifting wide was the shot. Having opened her Hoffenheim account with the third goal of this evening. Wants to add to her tally. I feel like Hoffenheim need to be wary of how they manage and handle the next couple of minutes, because clearly Köln are trying to push for a bit of a power play at the start of this second half, and while it has had the desired effect to some degree, Hoffenheim still in a commanding position in this game, and again, fate in their own hands in a way that it isn't when it comes to the race for third place. Yes, and round the corner. Stolzer has strayed offside. Seems like a very interesting decision based on the way play was building up there. Wonder whether Britta Karlsson has been made aware of the egregious decision made against her side for Hoffenheim's second goal. Because again, we're all for controversy and accepting the fact that there are going to be tight offside calls in the Frauen-Bundesliga, where we don't have the use of the technological advancements that the men's game has had. But the offside call that should have stopped Cerci in her tracks was one that had a little bit of daylight involved in it as well. Of course, we always have the benefit of replays, different angles. The officials, they get one look at it. It was a bad call from Jana Heegwijn. And it was a influential moment in the game because it really allowed Hoffenheim to seize the initiative with that early 2-goal lead. Now Diem, running herself into problems there, and Hegering went diving in, but leading by example, as always, Marina Hegering. Imping now. 3 for company. Bremer. Cross. Comes to nothing, but Köln keep themselves on the front foot. Imping. Almost lost out to Grimm. Support from Vogt. Well, it is cliche to say, but this is brewing into a classic tale of two halves. Hoffenheim do not have any purchase on proceedings anymore, and it's all Köln. Rankin has to act, with Bremer bearing down on her. Bremer wanted the foul and didn't get it. Approaching the hour mark. And if Laura Dick can cut out the mistakes, then Hoffenheim should see this one out with all 3 points. Don't want to be too harsh on the young goalkeeper. All part of the learning curve at the highest level. That's the last thing that Selina Cerci needs on a night where she has dazzled, but truth be told, we haven't seen anything from her in the second half. Just a routine 50-50, feeling the effects of it. But if she wants to aspire to make a move in the summer, then she needs to stay injury-free. She is joint top of the Frauen-Bundesliga goal-scoring charts, on 14 now with Vanessa Fudala and Pernilla Harder. But she has 7 assists to her name, including the 2 tonight. And that's where she has an edge on Fudala, who has 5, and Harder, who has 4. And her goal involvements tonight mean that she's not just become the top goal scorer in the Frauen-Bundesliga, but here in Germany what they like to call the top scorer. And scorer points are made up of goals and assists combined. And Selina Cerci has 21 scorer points now, with her 4 amassed against Köln. And that means that she is one ahead of Clara Bühl, who has 20 with 7 goals and 13 assists. One of those trademark assists that delivered Bayern the title against Union Berlin. Right now, Lydia Andrade, the woman who spotted the opportunity to close down Laura Dick and then saw Laura Dick's clearance come right off of her and into the back of the net. That was the first goal scored by Köln this evening to make it 2-1 back then. Here we'll get a look at it. Dick lingered too long. Andrade closed down the angle well and was rewarded for her efforts. Is going to be the end of the evening for Lydia Andrade, and the return now of Dora Zeller off the bench after a long-term knee injury that has prevented her from making an appearance all season. They have managed her recovery and her return sensibly. She did score against Hoffenheim last season, 2 of the goals that she scored in 18 appearances. You have to think she would have been a player that would have been a prominent figure for Köln this season had she not been sidelined through injury. Now Bremer, here's the chance, Stolzer, good take from Stolzer. Oh, Janssens did really well to recover. Stolzer will get to the loose ball first. Cross charged down, it did look like a handball there from Vanessa Diem. Now Jensen wins it back. Vogt looking for Bremer, Bremer! She was back to goal, falling backwards, off balance. A high degree of difficulty there. Can't really blame her for having a go, though, I guess. So you feel like she did actually have the time and space to take a touch there in the box. Cerci. A rare foray forward for her in this second half. Nice ball to Grimm. Just lost sight of the ball at the vital moment. Now Dora Zeller, her first touches as a Köln substitute and returnee. A multiple-time Hungarian Footballer of the Year, Dorottella. Sandra Maria Jessen has been, without question, one of the best bits of business that Köln did in the summer, along with Paulina Bremer and Marina Hegering. Solving all their goal-scoring issues from last season when Taylor Thieme was the top scorer with just 4 goals. She's back in the matchday squad again today after a lengthy stint on the treatment table herself, much like Dorottella, the 2 Zs in that regard. A welcome options again in the Köln ranks. But while Thieme only scored 4 all of last season, Sandra Maria Jessen 11 to her name in the current campaign. And if you look at her record in all competitions, it's 13 goals in 25 appearances. That's an average of just over a goal every other game. Van Dijk, foot race with Hegering. It's Hegering who wins out. Feels like Köln are living a little bit dangerously right now, because while they're pushing to make it 4-3, there's a sense that if Hoffenheim actually dip into their quality, that the 5th goal, to put it beyond doubt, is available. But right now the break is on for Köln. Stolze, she's got Bremer in the middle. It's Bremer! Oh, big save by Laura Dick. That atones for some of the earlier mistakes. And that's where her talents really shine. Shot-stopping situations. Well, that should have been 4-3. The deficit should have been reduced to a single goal. This will be an opportunity that we look back on. Credit to Bremer, she did remarkably well with the pass from Stolze behind her. But her shot matched by the save from Laura Dick. She's a regular for the Germany under-23 side, and she has been a provisional call-up for the senior national team. Had injuries occurred, but so far no call-ups, due to the fact that no one's picked up a injury unexpectedly in the goalkeeping ranks for Christian Wuch's side. Oh, Hegering, that was a little bit risky, off balance, trying to get the ball back to Lisa Schmitz, her former Wolfsburg teammate, reunited here with the Cathedral City side. Oh, the chance now! Cerci with her first sight of goal as she chases a hat-trick. And again, Köln almost playing their own way into trouble there. And wow, that was not far away from Selina Cerci. She is such a wonderful footballer to watch. Technically gifted, vision, physical presence, a sharp eye for goal. Sandra Maria Jessen keeps drifting out wide, and it's having a very positive effect for Köln. Now Agrec, half cross, half shot in the end. More shot than cross, but routine work for Laura Dick. Hegering wins the header, wants the ball back and gets it. Now she can marshal the ball forwards. Pass goes astray, and now she's out of position. Oh, raking ball. Cut out by Born and Vogt. Did well to scamper the clearance to Jessen. Hegering. Oh, Cerci was loitering dangerously, but now Hegering. What a ball that is. Duma will get there first. Goes back to Dick with the pass. Awkward for Laura Dick. Now looks for Diem, under pressure from Bremer. Oh, giving away Stolzer now. For Zeller. That would have been a lovely moment in this game for Köln and Dora Zeller upon her return from a long spell on the sidelines with a torn ACL. But perhaps they're a bit of a sign of the ring rust. Making the right runs, making the right decision, but scuffing the shot entirely. And that's now two really big chances that Köln have had to make it 4-3. How many more will they get? With time winding down, just over 20 minutes of normal time remaining here at the Dietmar Hopp Stadion. The curtain closure on match day 23. A weekend where the race for third place has taken centre stage. Frankfurt won, Leverkusen won. Can Hoffenheim match them to stay within 4 points of the Schiegels? Cerci. Oh, it's off the bar! From the tightest of angles, she almost found a hat-trick. Janssens now clips it in. Van Dijk's up for the header. Hegering felt she was fouled, but the referee made no call in the end. It did look like Van Dijk had two hands right on the shoulders of Marina Hegering, as we see there, the woodwork rattled by Cerci. I'm not sure if Schmitz would have kept that one out had it crept under the bar. That would have been some way to score her hat-trick. She only got one last season. That was on the final day of the campaign against Jena. And it was those 3 goals that took her from 13 to 16. Linnet Berenstein thought she had got the Torjäger Kanone all wrapped up, the Wolfsburg striker, and Cerci's hat-trick on the final day, thwarting her, meaning they shared the prize. Cerci might have to do that again this season with Harder, Fudala and Mühlhaus for company at the top of the scoring charts. Zara Agretsch did really well there under pressure, it had to be said. Not just controlling the ball, but then finding a way for Köln to build up now through the lines. Unfortunately, the deflection on the pass there saw the move break down. Starting to feel like a lot of endeavour, no end product for Köln, and that'll be a slightly demoralising feeling. And yet Britta Karlsson will probably point to the fact that they were much better in this second half. And now Stolzer taking it off of Duma after a poor pass by Grimm. Stolzer, pocket of space. She was thinking about the shot, she thought better of it, and then, oh my word, what a wasteful pass. After all the good work done, now can they do better? Jessen taking on Janssens on the outside. There's a bit of a mismatch in terms of pace there in favour of Janssens. Changes now for Hoffenheim. And Nike Van Dijk, after opening her Hoffenheim account with this strike through the legs of Lisa Schmitz, comes off. It's Naomi Luyet on for Van Dijk. Lara Glauning is the other player coming on. Another flashing it across goal, and Rankin just in front of Imping. All she could do was concede the corner, though. Well, Hoffenheim fans, they might have been thinking at half-time that they were clear and dry, and now all of a sudden their team are letting Köln back into this game, and a little bit nervier than it needs to be. And Gretsch with the corner. Oh, good header, but always going over from Amelie Bornen. Sure wouldn't say no to atoning for the big mistake she made against Frankfurt last time out. Yes, and back to Hegering. Oh, Hegering, lovely touch. Oh, shame that the pass after it was so poor. She does lead by example, though. Laura Dick, given what's happened already tonight, those moments will be heart and mouth moments for Hoffenheim fans. Ooh, Hegering went charging in on Naomi Louette, who did very well to avoid the contact. And if anything, Hegering's body was anticipating the contact, didn't get it, and now May picked up a knock as a result. It looked like she just jarred the leg a touch. Oh, now maybe for Dorotella! Oh, the chances are there. If Köln could just take one more, then it's going to add real jeopardy to the closing stages of this Monday night matchup. Sat up nicely for Teller. And again, the technique just letting her down. 2 chances for the Hungarian now. Hegering, oh my goodness. Body, oh, what? For a high foot, I can only assume. But why not play advantage there? It's been given against Hegering, hasn't it? I knew it. I knew it. She thought that everyone was anticipating it was a foul for a high foot. What has she seen there, Berm? That is a little bit baffling. And again, it'll be a night where Köln can rightly feel a little bit aggrieved about some of the officiating they've been on the end of tonight.